Okay, if we'll settle down, we'll call the Sales Tax Subcommittee of the House Ways and Means Committee to order. We have two items on the agenda this afternoon. House Bill 428 has my name at the top. It's a bill that we're going to use to do something for Chairman Blackman. Chairman Blackman, you have the floor. House Bill 428.
Well, as a, it's certainly not for me. I shouldn't say. The
let,
Mr.
let, let
Chairman.
me let me rephrase that. This is many of you might be familiar. We drop bills in before day 20, and in the event things come up late. This was a bill that I authored, being chairman of this committee, because it was going to come since I chair the committee. Chairman Blackman, has the bill. Like he said, it's not for him. It is for the good of the taxpayers of the state of Georgia. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What we have substituted into 428 is essentially removing an exemption that is dated, and we really brought it forward for discussion as much as anything. But what we have in place, I think it was put there in the early 2000s, and it was an exemption on sales tax if you spent more than $15 million as a high tech company on equipment, and it claws back so that if you get to that 15 million, you get a rebate on the sales tax for the year. And it's something for discussion. That is really, it's kind of timed out in a number of ways. And so to be good stewards of our tax dollars, it's something that we wanted to put before the committee and subcommittee as uh, you know, basically a sunset on this provision. Um, be happy to try to answer any questions.
Great job with that, Chairman Blackman. Yeah, if you read the bill, it is sunsetting the provision. It does move the definition of computer equipment, which I believe is the same as is being deleted, into another section of the code, and actually is a better place to put the definition. Any other changes in the bill are related to the fact that that definition has been moved. So the crux of this bill is to sunset um, the provision that you see starting in section one of the bill. Are any? Do we have anybody that wishes to testify? Are there questions from the subcommittee members on this? Questions on it? We'll get there just a second. Let me just make sure there's no questions out there. I think again we'll probably have garner more information as we move forward, but due to the late time in the session, I do think it would be appropriate for us to move it out of subcommittee if there is not an objection. Hearing none, I will take a motion. What's the pleasure of subcommittee on House Bill 428, LC 43, 1948S? Have a motion and a second. This move to full committee with due pass recommendation. Is there discussion? Discussion on the motion? Discussion? Did you have? Okay, I just want to make sure. No discussion. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? No. Chairman Blackman, did you have something, or okay, your light keeps going on and on. No, that's fine. Just don't want to leave. We're still. I am still getting used to this virtual, making sure we're not missing folks. Um, we have the other item we have on the agenda is House Bill 160. Chairman Blackman, do you mind if I address that for our friend? We have House Bill 160. We heard this earlier last week in the subcommittee. Representative Bodie brought this. We heard from several of the mayors south of the city that connect to the Atlanta water system. It is basically allowing them to take to their voters the possibility of the most, so that they can, with that sales tax, should it be approved, um, take care of their infrastructure. Representative Bodie isn't here this morning. I'd like to ask the subcommittee to consider moving that forward to full committee again, based on the date. We've heard this for several years. It gives them self-determination in the cities south of Atlanta that hook into the Atlanta system. So at this time, uh, we will when we get to their thing. So with that, I'm going to ask. I'm going to go to questions of the committee, and I can explain the bill further if you like. But basically, this just extends the most as Atlanta has into the cities that connect to that water system. So that would be the cities around in South Fulton. I have some questions. Who's number? Well, it says number 7 here. I don't know. Okay, yes, sir. Representative Williams.
Thank you, Chairman Martin. Is it not true that this committee has heard this measure numerous times? And Representative Bodie has been very, very passionate about this issue for the reasons he holds the dear. He thinks is doing the right thing. And is it not true that that this will be beneficial to for the intended purposes?
That's the chair's belief, and again, to reiterate, this would have to go before the voters. It would be by referendum.
Okay.
Chairman Blackman, did you have something?
I was just going to move do pass.
Let's see what.
I know we do have testimony from ACCG. What I was hoping I could do is kind of say on their behalf. I know they have concerns based on how this would impact the Fulton, sales tax versus what it would do for that most. Recognize those concerns, and we'll continue to try to work with them to to help and improve, perfect whatever needs to be done here. But as Chairman Williamson said, this is something that Representative Bodie has brought before this committee, I think probably for the last 5 years, and we've heard it over and over again. And I'm concerned that our communication sometimes is not getting everybody. So I don't want to hold him back because he's not here today. I feel certain he would have been here had he gotten the notice properly. So if you're stating yours in the form of a motion, I would second your motion.
If I might, well, I think we were going to ask ACCG if that's okay. The chair, we have them
Sure,
online,
please
let's ask
them
them
if they have
and I'll
anything
come
to
right
add.
back for a
Certainly.
motion. If there's no further questions of the subcommittee, we have folks online virtually here. Is there anybody that wishes to speak to this from afar? I'm going to just, we can't tell. I can't from looking from here. Unmute your mic and begin to speak. If we have more than we can handle, we'll put you in order. Anyone from afar wishes to speak to this? ACCG, GMA? I see.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Chairman.
This is Larry Ramsey with ACCG, and I will not belabor this. The committee has our written comments that came before the previous subcommittee. Thank you to Chairman Blackman for discussing this, and to Representative Bodie for discussing this issue with us. Our concern is just from a tax policy perspective of allowing sales taxes that can break up and only cover portions of a whole county. We think everybody does better if there are sales taxes that everybody rises or falls together, so that you don't set up competition within a county as to whose sales tax should pass and whose might be negatively affected as a result. Again, thanks for the consideration of our comments, and look forward to continuing discussions on this topic as it moves forward.
Thank you. Well stated. Anyone else from afar? Anyone else from afar? I think if I could also, Chairman Levin, there was, just for the members of the subcommittee that weren't here last time, there was some discussion from the city of Atlanta who has this. There's some language down in down in lines 32 through 38 about an audit requirement. I'd suggest we pass the bill as is. I know that's important to a member of our committee here to have full accountability. If as it goes through, they can show that accountability without the additional need, that language can come out in full committee or later. So if there are no further questions, we are in a position to take action on this. We have House Bill 160, LC 431787. What's the pleasure of the subcommittee in moving this? I have a motion. I have a motion and a second to move this to full committee with due pass recommendation. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Any opposed, no. Just asking because we're online. I have no votes in opposition. This passes unanimously on to full committee with a due pass recommendation. We have no further items on this subcommittee agenda. So without objection, we'll stand adjourned. And without objection, we are adjourned.